and to facilitate a phased approach, primary and secondary day schools are to suspend operations from tomorrow. For those in boarding schools, the school administration is to ensure that students are home by Wednesday, the 18th March 2020, while universities and tertiary institutions are to close by Friday, 20th March 2020. Where possible, as number 5, government offices, businesses, and companies are encouraged to allow employees to work from home, with the exception of employees working in critical or essential services. Number 6, in order to avoid the risk of transmission through physical handling of money, we encourage the use of cashless transactions, such as mobile money, M-Pesa and otherwise, and credit cards, and we appeal to mobile operators and banks to take note of the situation that we are in and to reduce the cost of transactions during this period. Number 7, in line with the directive to avoid crowded places, citizens are encouraged to A, avoid congregating, including in places of worship, B, minimize attendance to social gatherings, including weddings and funerals, and restrict the same to immediate family members. C, we call for people to avoid crowded places, including shopping malls and entertainment premises. And D, to minimize congestion in public transport whenever possible. And lastly, E, the limitation of visitors to hospitalized patients in both public and private hospitals. Number 8, hospitals and shopping malls are encouraged to provide soap, water, hand sanitizers, and ensure that all their premises are regularly cleaned and disinfected. Fellow Kenyans, globally, the impact of the virus is still unfolding. I want to assure you that my administration is at the forefront of assessing, containing, and managing this pandemic in our country. Some of the measures that we have taken today may cause inconvenience, but I want to assure you that they are designated and designed to ensure that we effectively contain the spread of this deadly virus. I want to appeal to each and every one of you to strictly observe these measures, but I would also appeal for calm. Kenyans, please let us avoid misinformation that causes panic and anxiety. Let us all remember that as Kenyans, we have been faced with other crises in the past, but we have always triumphed by coming together in the spirit of national unity and cooperation. every single Kenyan has a responsibility and a duty to play his or her part in safeguarding our nation and the lives of our people. There is no doubt that this pandemic will test us, as it is testing all countries in every corner of the globe. But I don't believe that it will defeat us. If we pull together and everybody does their part, we shall, with God's grace, overcome the worst impacts of this virus. I want to take this opportunity to thank you members of the Fourth Estate for your support, especially in avoiding to sensationalize, but rather provide information that can be and is being useful to wananchi. Let us work together. May God bless you all, and may God bless Kenya.
Coronavirus, you've been hearing a lot about it recently. So here's what we know so far. Coronavirus is a whole family of viruses responsible for a range of illnesses, from the common cold to much more deadly diseases like MERS and SARS. Coronaviruses are zoonotic. That means they're transmitted to humans from animals. For example, SARS was transmitted by cats and MERS from camels. What is different about this coronavirus? This latest version of the virus has never before been found in humans. It affects the respiratory system. Common symptoms include fever, cough, shortness of breath, very similar to a bad dose of the flu. But in severe cases, this coronavirus can cause pneumonia, severe acute respiratory syndrome, kidney failure, and even death. You have a much better chance of surviving coronavirus. More than half of people who contract Ebola die. The average for the novel 2019 coronavirus is way lower at 2%, but it spreads much more easily through coughing, sneezing, and touching infected surfaces. And it's possible to transmit the virus even before the symptoms appear. Are Africa's health services ready? We don't know. As things stand, there's no confirmed case of the new coronavirus in Africa, but experts say it's only a matter of time. Many countries are already screening travelers arriving from China. We are told they're preparing isolation facilities and stockpiling protective equipment. They are working with the World Health Organization and the Africa Centers for Disease Control to prepare for a potential outbreak. The Nigerian Red Cross Society says it has placed 1 million volunteers on alert due to the threat of the new coronavirus. Countries that receive large numbers of passengers from Asia have been given priority. They include the Democratic Republic of Congo, Ivory Coast, Zambia, Kenya, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Ghana, South Africa, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Mauritius, and Algeria. Should I be scared of Chinese people and products? According to the World Health Organization, it is safe to receive packages from China because the virus does not survive long on objects like packages and letters. And just because somebody is Chinese, that doesn't mean they have the coronavirus. People of all races and nationalities can catch it. Scientists are racing to create a vaccine. This new strain of the virus was only discovered in January. There is currently no cure. And if you're wondering if antibiotics work against viruses, well, they don't. But here are some of the best ways you can protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands, and avoid close contact with sick people. If you have a fever and are coughing or having trouble breathing, seek medical care early. And please stay home to avoid infecting others. When coughing or sneezing, cover your mouth with a tissue or a handkerchief. Then throw that tissue in the trash. Alternatively, cover your mouth and nose like this. Achoo! And don't forget to clean any surfaces you've touched with a spray or soap. Face masks can limit the spread of the virus, but just using a mask is not enough to keep you safe. Bottom line is, prevention is better than cure. So keep yourself safe and protect others from infection.
The most recent highlight of 2019 has been the Wajinga Nyenye by King Kaka. Manze, hiyo song imetamba. Within the few minutes of release, that song was heard and listened so many times. Wajinga Nyenye, I hope you don't forget because 2022 is coming.
Na hiyo wiki ndio najua jirani yangu wangamjaka kama kumbe wangamsapere.
My name is Pasil Telewa and this is my 2019 in review.
Fantastic, a very fun interview.
I'm so happy with what you're doing.
Benson, salimia watu bwana.
I would like to share with you my 2019. It's been quite eventful, meeting so many people, great minds and personality, and I would really like to highlight the social interaction that I've had this year.
Click, 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 click.
The first person is meeting and interacting with the CEO of Kenya Film Classification Board, Ezekiel Mutua. He's such a cool person. You know those CEOs you meet and you think like they're so strict. Man, I had a really good time with Ezekiel Mutua. Ukimsikia unasikia tu mabanning za music, but he got this, you know, other soft side of him. Ezekiel, I remember meeting him, and that day I met Ezekiel Mutua was the same day I met the Sauti Sol. And these guys had a new song and they were trying to promote this new artist called Bensoul. Yes, that is the guy. Extravaganza nayo, yes, that is my best of the Sauti Sols. Another personality that I met was the CEO of KICC, Nana Geshaga. That girl is like so easy. You know those people you meet and you're expecting, you know, some sort of, you know, pride, class and status because they're so and so. That girl is so easy, you know. We were laughing, having fun, taking selfies, you know, talking about everything.
Oh, there's this word going around, like it's so popular. It's called Wamlambez and Wamnyonyez. Are you aware of it?
I've heard of it, but I can't really say, I can't pronounce it.
You can't pronounce
Right. If you say it first.
You wait. No, you say it first, then I'm gonna answer you.
No, I don't even know which goes first.
Wamlambez! Say Wamnyonyez.
Wamnyone.
Yes, that was 2019. The other person I met was the Senate Speaker, Kenneth Lusaka. That guy, did you ever know that he's acted before? Like imagine Ken Lusaka acting. So these people also have like that other life, you know, or those other potentials that they can exude when they're out of their current offices.
Why were you hiding all this while? We should have seen you take the lead.
If you have watched me, even in my life as a governor, and even now as a speaker, there's a lot of acting that I do. There's a lot of drama in me. Sometimes because of my job is now a bit restrictive, but I used to even to adjudicate drama when I was at DC.
I've been doing lots of Churchill show this year, by the way, and by default, actually not by default, but it's quite normal that I meet Churchill himself, Daniel Ndambuki. But this was on a different day and I just got to interact with him, socialize, have a good time, you know, Churchill mwenyewe yani. Achana na hao wengine. But hao wengine, those who follow my page know I've interacted with the likes of Kina Mwende, you know, the likes of, you know, Jay Blessing, the likes of Sleepy, the likes of Jesse and all of that.
So if you're not a professor doing comedy, what would you be doing?
Sleeping most of the time. I love sleeping. I am one of the best sleepers out there.
Hata mimi nilipokuwa naanza na jiwatching na shangaa hii takataka gani nilikuwa naambia watu. Sasa hivi nitajiangalia 20 years to come niseme nini nilikuwa naambia watu Africa Love Fest KCC.
So relationship yangu na God iko very okay. Na hope iko sawa.
Yeye mwenyewe atasema. Amejua kali. Yes. I went up to his studio, had a chat with him, you know, like we were just talking about how the music industry is going, you know, and the monetization of music in YouTube. And I found out this guy is so easy as well. You know, you meet somebody and he's quite smart, you know, very intelligent, coming up with stuff and not like out of the game for over a decade, you know. Those who follow me also know that I also had a time with Waire. Waire is a reggae music artist. Those people who love reggae must have heard about Waire. Now Waire tulianza kumsikia kitambo. So Waire is also that cool personality that I met in 2019.
Yeah, me and Naz are back in studio already. We have a lot of unreleased material.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, definitely.
I also just didn't meet local celebrities or personalities. I went over out of Kenya and I met Davil.
I love you all. You know, Kenya, thanks for having me. Nairobi, you're the greatest. Love you all.
Davil had a concert here in the country and I got the time to also interact with him. He's such a cool person. Wale watu wenye yani, they are so down to earth. You know, he could show me his, you know, like his tattoos. He could tell me how he started this whole thing. I mean, his music career, his love life.
This is Davil, aka Tori Mason, and you're in tune to Behind the Scenes with Pasil Telawa. Keep it locked right here, you heard? Always on my mind. Pasil Telawa behind the scenes, and now I'm in every time.
We covered lots of other events, but obviously we couldn't get enough time to mention all of them. But remember, you can invite us to host your events, do backstage guest interviews, digital video production, and live streaming of events, as well as moderating your workshops and seminars. Give us a call on 0716 633 550 or email pasil@pasiltelewa.com.
I think I'm gonna wrap it up to you guys and then join in later when fire is up. So don't press that dial. Hold on and make sure you leave your comments, share us many times, and let's meet again.
So we hope that you guys can have a better 2020, you know, a prosperous one, successful one, or you can say 2020. And you can imagine you'll be doing that for the whole decade, like 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. My name is Pasil Telewa, and this has been my 2019 in review.
Hello and welcome to Street Talk Africa, a show where we bring you the latest stories from the African continent, ranging from news and politics, entertainment, and even tech. Coming up on this edition of the show,
Lupita Nyong'o is one of our own.
Black Panther makes its premiere in Kisumu County, Jacob Zuma resigns, and Zimbabwe's main opposition leader Changirai dies at 65. South Africa prepared to welcome wealthy former businessman Cyril Ramaphosa as its new president Thursday after scandal-tainted Jacob Zuma resigned under intense pressure from his own party. Zuma announced he had stepped down in a late-night television address in which he took some digs at the African National Congress Party.
The 65-year-old former anti-apartheid activist who moved from politics to business has been elected president by the South African Parliament. He takes over from Jacob Zuma, who finally resigned after being pushed out of his party. The ANC appointed Cyril Ramaphosa as its head in December with a clear agenda to end the corruption which defined the Zuma era.
Issues that have to do with corruption, issues of how we can straighten out our state-owned enterprises, and how we deal with state capture are issues that are on our radar screen. Those are issues that we're going to be addressing, and tomorrow we will also have an opportunity to outline some of the steps that we are going to be taking.
Ramaphosa was an activist from the beginning of the struggle against apartheid and was seen by many as a presidential heir apparent to Nelson Mandela. But after failing to succeed his mentor in 1999, he decided to move from politics to business, where he became one of the wealthiest men in South Africa. Among the first to benefit from the policy of positive discrimination for blacks, he became an economic success while much of South Africa was experiencing financial difficulties.
Right now, his appeal to broad society is defined by the fact that he's not Jacob Zuma. How that changes once Jacob Zuma is out of the picture, I think, is another ballgame altogether.
Now alone, he must try and improve the ANC's image. His goal: to win the 2019 general election and finally fulfill the promise of the Rainbow Nation dreamt by Nelson Mandela.
Morgan Tsvangirai, the veteran Zimbabwean opposition leader who confronted Robert Mugabe's regime for many years, died on Wednesday after a long battle with cancer. According to a party official, 65-year-old Tsvangirai, who founded the Movement for Democratic Change Party in 1999, was among the most prominent critics of Mugabe, the long-time authoritarian leader who was ousted from power in November last year.
The nation has lost an icon. We have lost as a party. We have lost our father. We have lost our leader. We have lost... Oh my God, I can't even express myself. He wanted us to win this election in 2018, and I hope the top leadership is going to unify and beat ZANU-PF. I know this is what he wanted. We do not want to damage his legacy.
Morgan Tsvangirai was our hope as Zimbabweans, as the young generation of Zimbabwe.
Ethiopia released a jailed opposition leader and journalist on Wednesday and dropped charges against a group of bloggers in a wave of prisoner releases and pardons. An AFP videographer said politician Andualem Arage and journalist Eskinda Nega left a prison in the capital Addis Ababa before a crowd of about 100 supporters. The conflict between cattle herders and farmers over access to land is intensifying in Nigeria, with bloody attacks that have become even more deadly than Boko Haram's Islamist insurgency. Madumaji sits on a bench at the cattle market in Makurdi, central Nigeria, dragging his bare feet through the dust to stave off boredom. In the pens, the few cows that remain are little more than skin and bone.
At the cattle market in Makurdi in central Nigeria, cattle are increasingly rare commodities. Fulani herders used to come here in droves to sell their animals, but the increase in communal violence with farmers in the region has forced them elsewhere. For the last 3 months, it's been illegal even for them to bring their animals into Benue State, and that's a disaster for the local economy.
If his anti-grazing law stop, I hope that market will come back fresh. And also, no, this is not the only market. All Benue State can do normal.
Hundreds of people in this part of the country have died in the violence since the start of this year. The long-running conflict began as a battle for land and water. Climate change and desertification has pushed the nomadic herders into southern Nigeria in search of land for grazing. That's put them at odds with locals. Tit-for-tat attacks have seen the conflict escalate.
I am appealing to the federal government to quickly intervene to solve this problem so that the nomadic Fulanis that are residing in Benue should be allowed freely to move with their cow. The constitution of this country, Nigeria, section 40 allow everybody to move anywhere he wants to go.
Attacks by armed Muslim herders have forced thousands of mainly Christian farmers to flee their villages. This school is now home to 10,000 people who are waiting for an end to the conflict.
They destroy our crops, they even burn our houses, and they continue those attacks till they push us.
The fighters came to our villages and we started to run. They killed, then we ran away.
President Muhammadu Buhari, himself a northern Fulani Muslim, has been widely criticised for his response to the crisis. But the army is now sending in troops to the affected areas to try to end the violence.
Kenyans flocked to the premiere of Black Panther, a film adaptation of Marvel Comics' breakthrough black superhero story about a king of a fictional African nation. The movie, which features Kenya's top actress Lupita Nyong'o, premiered in Kisumu County and is expected to premiere in many other places. In Lagos, Nigeria, moviegoers attended the preview of Marvel's latest superhero film, Black Panther.
I hear the main characters, around 4 or 5 of them, are all Africans. That's a very important statement to the world. That a comic series, Marvel Studios, could have a movie entirely based on African characters. That is so nice. It's gonna turn away some of the stereotypes we have about Africans.
Me personally, I feel privileged to have the movie, to watch the movie here in Kisumu, here in Africa. And Lupita Nyong'o is one of our own. She's our daughter, the daughter of Kisumu, the daughter of our governor. So we feel privileged.
And that's it for today's episode of Street Talk Africa. Do remember to join us again next week for more stories from the African continent. I've been your host, Christine Mayama. Goodbye.
Sorry? I meant the drink. That's the femme fatale, right? Don't mind if I join you. So you're that kind of?
Excuse me?
I mean, you're beautiful, strong, independent, and clearly you didn't get my corny pickup line.
At least you got something right on the corny part though.
You don't think you're beautiful?
Every woman is beautiful. It's like complimenting men for being manly. Beauty isn't defined by appearance or how well a woman can apply makeup, but by their essence.
What is a woman's essence?
If I told you that, then I'll be uttering history, as we both know.
Touché, touché. Excuse me. A drink for me, please. And for you, if you don't mind.
I'll have what he's having.
Make that 2 devil spits.
Gassed up so we fling nose in the sky. Old screens so there's no blowing my high. DUI got her cause all in my eyes. Drinking down so we stay up till we fly. Gassed up so we fling nose in the sky.
So what do you do actually yourself?
I'm a radio presenter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
104.4. Yes.
That sounds like an interesting lifestyle.
It's interesting because you get to experience other people's lives indirectly.
I'm almost done with mine. I think we can have some more, right?
Yeah, sure.
From Lucyland, a bitch in a slab kama Lucy man. I'm a cool cat aka Pussy man. Wezi rona sisi kwanza esa Pussy man. Hipi na kula raw kama sushi man. Goosey gang, goosey gang, goosey gang. Goosey gang, goosey gang, goosey gang, goosey gang, goosey gang, goosey gang, goosey gang. Na kamna nize flow from Lucyland, a bitch in a slab kama Lucy man. ama cool cat nikibusi man weziro na sisi kwanza esabusi man kipi na kula raw kama sushi man gusi gang spit nikakwa tulia nyoka banana republic una shida teba rioka yes I'm hapa isi hapa kotioka ni x-ray king cow dogo soka hizi ma area wananiita omogambi neza confirm puta sijigambi marapo wamekuwa kaji tena hawabambi tabidi waite pita leo na watu wa marangi I don't play with you niggas kata fito mo kisangi I got the sauce and the juice kwa kerandi bas nazi spit na delivery omorani paka shorties wana dance utadhani ne nyangi hey na represent kule mimi natoka banana republic roka place kuna madem naongo toka nikishika mic pakogoka yeah gusi gang na come na dizi flow from Gusiland na beat na slap kama Lucy man I'm a cool cat eke busi man weziro na sisi kwanza esabusi man hip na kula raw kama sushi man gusi gang
Tell me baby he come on talk to me bound up in glitter make you hot make you shiver body rock in the mirror come on talk to me I'll make you see you'd like to be curiosity you spin me right round little crazy for the boy right now show me touch me can you hear that
Hello. Would you mind introducing us?
Hello, dear. You damn right, girl. I'm well. How about you?
Same old. Can't complain.
Same old. With you, that's a whole lot. Now new travels or new future ex?
No, that's a good one. I'm actually is down. I'm in a relation.
Relation?
Yes. I'm in a relationship with only 3 men. God, the boredom is killing me, child.
Wow, you're something, dear. I don't know what, but you're really something. Yes, I'm home. Just finished my run.
I missed a client in your neighborhood. Thought I should drop by, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, come. You're welcome. You're always welcome. Alright, see you, girl. Relation, what? This girl is going to kill me one day.
That's the last time I'm having a tot and nyama choma with no drinks. Plus, I think you don't have to show me.
You keep that to yourself.
I am someone who's lost some weight.
Really?
Keeping it lean for the boys. And you look really happy. Plus you're glowing. And there must be someone.
Right now, did you come up with all that, Sherlock?
Who's that?
Never mind.
Anyway, so who is he? I know you're going to tell me.
No, I'm not. Tell you what.
Who is the new guy?
You're the worst person to tell a secret.
So you admit there's someone. Plus admit. I may have told one or two people, but it's up to them what they do with the information after I've told them.
I can't believe you said that, Karen.
At least I'm being honest. Plus I really want to know.
Oh. Okay. I'll tell you. But you have to promise that you won't tell us all. Promise.
I promise. I promise.
You won't tell us all.
No one.
If you do. Okay, this is what happened.
Can you walk?
Yeah.
In a taxi? Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
That's something only I could do.
Yeah, I know.
So has he called or texted?
It gets more interesting.
What? Is he here?
No, he's not here. Really, Karen? Right. During my morning run, I bumped into him. And guess who interrupted us? His girlfriend.
How now?
Apparently, he stays around. And when we had to make up a story before we even talked. And it turns out that the girlfriend is a gym instructor. And guess what? She invited me to her spin class.
What?
Mm-hmm.
You're in a mess.
I know. Wow.
Yeah.
How about your life, how have you been?
Well, honey, as much as I'd like to stay and chat, I have to run.
Where to? You just got here.
No. I have something really urgent and I have to run.
It's alright. I also have choir practice.
You? Choir? Are you serious?
Yes. It's a whole new me.
Okay.
Bye. See, I won't see you off.
Okay.
Alright.
I'll see you later.
Alright.
Bye. Bye.
Touch me, baby. On heat.
Hello.
Jody.
Who are you?
Someone who knows you far too well. You can call me your guardian stalker.
Do you think this is funny?
Funny. Well, kinda, but definitely thrilling.
What do you want and where did you get those images?
Now you're asking the what questions. It's simple. Supply and demand. In this business, you have to be careful with who you stab at the back.
Do I know you?
It doesn't matter whether you know me or not. Look, in my possession, I have all the images of a little escapade in the cab last night. And I'm ready to sell them to any blogger or tabloid for whatever reasonable fee. But all this can be avoided if you pay me fast. All I need is 200,000 by tomorrow evening, or else the whole country will be talking about you. Tick-tock, time is clicking. Tick-tock, tick-tock.